Hi, it's Sandy from sandyempowers, and welcome to day 73 of the Visibility Challenge. Today is about the power of expressing emotions. Did you know that depression is associated with suppression of emotions? And emotions principally come under the headings of grief or pain, anger, and fear. And yes, there may be subsets of that, but they're the three broad categories. Imagine if you had an inflated beach ball that you're trying to keep under the water. It takes energy to do that. And if each emotion is represented by another beach ball, you're spending a lot of energy trying to keep those emotions, those beach balls, under the surface. And from time to time, one will pop up. Another way of thinking of depression is a lack of expression, maybe doing something creatively. And this is certainly something that has affected many people during the pandemic. So one of the best ways of starting to deal with depression is to give voice, to give space to these emotions, this grief, anger, fear. And quite often there's a story linked to it. Something's happened, there's another person or people involved, a situation that's happened. And what we tend to do is hang on to that story, replay it, and we have these emotions that come up every time we tell that story or think of that person or that situation. So what I would encourage you to do is to voice what you're feeling as if you're talking to the person. So it's a safe space. There's just you and a void, an empty room, or perhaps someone holding the space for you. And by that I mean just being there as a silent support. And you can say all the things that you haven't been able to say directly to that person or about that situation. You can express the anger and the frustration. You can express how much you were hurt, how disappointed you were. Whatever the emotions that are coming up, give voice to them without adding to the story, without blame, just saying how you honestly feel, as if you were able to talk to that person. And it doesn't matter if the person is alive or dead. It doesn't matter if you know the person, will see them again, or it was a one-off incident where that person is no longer part of your life. Give yourself the opportunity to say what was unsaid, to feel what was unfelt or suppressed. And breathe. There's no right or wrong way, but just open your mouth, give voice to it. Allow the emotions to say whatever they want to say, whether that includes swearing, raising your voice, crying, whatever it is, shaking your fist, maybe bashing into a pillow or something like that. And notice, or preferably have someone that can help you recognize the pattern. It's not just the latest situation, it's not just the latest story. If you look carefully, there's a continuing pattern of similar situations, similar impacts, similar emotions. Even though the story might be different, the characters, the whole situation might be different. And it may go back to something in childhood, something that wasn't healed. It's a stored trauma. And it may be worth talking to that inner child, that part of you that wasn't able to process that trauma at the time, that's been carrying it ever since, even if that's 60 plus years. Acknowledge that child. Acknowledge that it wasn't their fault. They did nothing wrong. Acknowledge the hurt and the pain. And tell them how sorry you are that they had to go through that, that there was no one there to support them. And give them the reassurance that you are here now, that you will love them, keep them safe, support them, and that you will never leave that child. Or it may be a number of children. It may be incidents that happened over a few years. But when you give that reassurance to that inner child, which is like talking aloud to yourself, it makes a difference. You feel lighter. Your inner child feels heard, supported, nourished. And if you can recognize the pattern, the initial cause, then it's easier to give yourself compassion, to forgive yourself and your inner child, to forgive yourself for the things that happened as a result of that situation, to stop judging yourself. And from there, you can build a healthier relationship with yourself, with your inner child. You can let the past go, and you can begin to heal and enjoy a new and a better life. So thank you for listening and watching. I wish you the power of expressing your emotions in a safe way for the highest good of you and all. Thank you.